Welcome back to Brainwaves, the channel that explores fascinating topics from around the world. In today's video, we will be diving into the devastating world of hurricanes. Join us as we explore the top 5 worst hurricanes in recorded history. So, let's get started. Hurricane Mitch, which struck in 1998, was one of the most devastating hurricanes in history. With its powerful winds and heavy rainfall, it caused widespread destruction and loss of life in Central America. The storm developed in the Caribbean Sea, quickly intensifying into a Category 5 hurricane with wind speeds reaching up to 180 miles per hour. The sheer force of Mitch was unparalleled, leaving a lasting impact on the affected regions. When Hurricane Mitch made landfall in Central America, it brought unprecedented devastation to the region. The storm's intense winds and relentless rains triggered catastrophic flooding and landslides, causing significant damage to infrastructure and leaving communities in ruins. Entire towns and villages were submerged underwater, and critical facilities such as hospitals, schools, and roads were destroyed. The agricultural sector, which formed the backbone of many local economies, suffered immense losses, further exacerbating the region's struggle to recover. The impact of Hurricane Mitch on human lives was truly devastating. Thousands lost their lives in the storm and its aftermath, as entire communities were swept away by floodwaters or buried under landslides. The destruction of homes and infrastructure left countless individuals displaced and vulnerable, struggling to find basic necessities such as food, clean water, and medical care. The long-term effects of Mitch's destruction, including the psychological toll on survivors and the challenges of rebuilding shattered communities, continue to be felt to this day. The Great Hurricane of 1780 holds the infamous title of being the deadliest Atlantic hurricane ever recorded. This catastrophic storm struck the Caribbean with unprecedented force, leaving a trail of destruction and claiming an estimated 22,000 lives. The hurricane developed rapidly and reached a staggering intensity, wreaking havoc on multiple islands in its path. Its devastating impact forever changed the lives of those who experienced its wrath. The Great Hurricane of 1780 unleashed its destructive power across the Caribbean, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The storm pounded multiple islands, including Barbados, Martinique, and St. Lucia, with fierce winds and torrential rainfall. Entire communities were obliterated, as homes, buildings, and crops were destroyed. The storm's surge, combined with the hurricane's powerful winds, resulted in widespread coastal flooding, causing immense damage to coastal towns and villages. The aftermath of the Great Hurricane of 1780 was marked by profound sorrow and long-lasting consequences. The loss of life, estimated at 22,000, left communities reeling and mourning their loved ones. The hurricane had a significant historical impact, serving as a stark reminder of the destructive power of nature and the vulnerabilities of Caribbean islands to such extreme weather events. The devastation caused by this hurricane also spurred advancements in hurricane forecasting and preparedness, with lessons learned shaping future disaster response efforts. Hurricane Katrina, a powerful Category 5 hurricane, struck the Gulf Coast of the United States in 2005, leaving a path of destruction and devastation in its wake. With its immense size and strength, Katrina became one of the costliest natural disasters in U.S. history. The city of New Orleans, in particular, bore the brunt of its impact, as the storm surge overwhelmed levees and flooded nearly 80% of the city, leading to a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented proportions. The devastation caused by Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans was catastrophic. The failure of the city's levee system resulted in massive flooding, submerging entire neighborhoods under several feet of water. Thousands of residents were stranded and in desperate need of rescue. The storm and subsequent flooding caused severe damage to infrastructure, including hospitals, schools, and transportation systems. The city's iconic landmarks, such as the Superdome, also became centers for sheltering those who had lost their homes. The long-term effects and impacts of Hurricane Katrina continue to be felt in New Orleans and beyond. The storm resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of residents, many of whom struggled to rebuild their lives and find new homes. The economic impact was staggering, with losses estimated in the billions of dollars. The disaster also exposed deep social and racial inequalities, as marginalized communities were disproportionately affected by the storm and its aftermath. In response to Katrina, significant efforts have been made to strengthen infrastructure, improve emergency response, and enhance flood protection systems to better prepare for future hurricanes. The Galveston hurricane of 1900 goes down in history as one of the deadliest natural disasters to ever strike the United States. This powerful hurricane made landfall in Galveston, Texas, causing widespread destruction and claiming over 6,000 lives. The storm surge, combined with intense winds and heavy rainfall, devastated the island city, leaving a lasting impact on the community and serving as a stark reminder of the immense power of hurricanes. The destruction and loss of life caused by the Galveston hurricane of 1900 was truly devastating. The storm surge overwhelmed the low-lying island city, submerging most of Galveston under several feet of water. Homes, businesses, and infrastructure were destroyed, leaving a landscape of wreckage and debris. The powerful winds, estimated to have reached 145 miles per hour, tore apart buildings and uprooted trees. The storm's impact was particularly deadly due to a lack of warning systems and inadequate preparations, resulting in the loss of thousands of lives. The recovery from the Galveston hurricane of 1900 was a daunting and arduous process. In the aftermath of the storm, the city began rebuilding, reconstructing homes, and restoring vital infrastructure. One of the most significant outcomes of this tragedy was the construction of a 17-foot-high seawall to protect the island from future storm surges. Additionally, Galveston implemented improved hurricane warning systems and disaster response plans to better prepare for future hurricanes. The lessons learned from this devastating event have had a lasting impact on hurricane preparedness and response not only in Galveston but also in coastal communities throughout the United States. The Bhola Cyclone of 1970 stands as one of the deadliest tropical cyclones in recorded history. This powerful storm struck the coastal areas of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, with devastating force. The cyclone rapidly intensified before making landfall, catching communities off guard and unprepared for the impending disaster. The Bhola Cyclone of 1970 had a profound impact on the region and left a tragic toll of loss and devastation in its wake. The devastation caused by the Bhola Cyclone of 1970 was immense. With its powerful winds and storm surge, the cyclone swept across the coastal regions of East Pakistan, causing widespread destruction. Entire villages were obliterated, and homes, buildings, and infrastructure were reduced to rubble. The most tragic aspect of the Bhola cyclone was the staggering death toll, estimated to be between 300,000 and 500,000 lives lost. The lack of early warning systems and the vulnerability of the population contributed to the high number of casualties, making it one of the deadliest cyclones in history. The impacts of the Bhola cyclone of 1970 were far-reaching and long-lasting. The massive loss of life created a humanitarian crisis in the affected areas, with families torn apart and communities devastated. The cyclone also had severe economic consequences, with agriculture and infrastructure completely destroyed, leading to widespread poverty and displacement. In response to this catastrophic event, humanitarian organizations and governments mobilized to provide emergency aid and assistance to the survivors. Efforts were made to rebuild infrastructure, establish early warning systems, and improve disaster preparedness to mitigate the impact of future cyclones in the region. And there you have it, the top 5 worst hurricanes in recorded history. These powerful storms have reshaped landscapes, caused immense human suffering, and reminded us of the sheer force of nature. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content.